This legal notice was published in the Observer Dispatch on March 5th, 2022, which I will read. Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Paris, Oneida County, New York, will hold a public hearing at the Paris Town Hall, Sulphur Springs Road, Sequoia, New York, on Monday, March 14th, 2022 at 7 p.m. to consider the following: the application of the Collins Homestead, 1724 Holman City Road, Clayville, New York, requesting relief in order of ZEO Section 72D1, Section 93A1, Section 93A2, Section 93A4 of the Town of Paris zoning law as adopted June 2013, Section 2 titled Stormwater Management and Erosion and Sediment Control, Section 93 titled Land Use Activities Requiring Review. Please take notice that the Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a regular meeting on Monday, March 14th, 2022, 7 o'clock p.m. Following the public hearing. Town of Paris Zoning Board of Appeals, Ray Hollenbeck, Chairman, Jean Lamont, Secretary, Zoning Board of Appeals. Mr. Zuell, would you like to expound on that?
No, that's fine, Mr. Shine.
Tom, would you like to?
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were
No, if you
talking to
want.
this guy.
This is a public hearing, so, it's their petition, so if you have nothing to add to what documents you've submitted, then you should say so.
We have nothing to add in addition to the documents we've submitted. We're here to hear the public.
Okay.
We do have that, so, this board is charged with the responsibility of interpreting local law, not charged with the responsibility of interpreting state law. This has always been a mixed case of local and state law, but the application that is submitted to this court, or to this board tonight, concerns matters involving state law. We have already submitted in your packet a letter from New York State Department of Ag and Markets. It's dated January 4th, 2022, which arose out of a complaint by the petitioners here that we were imposing limitations on them as a matter of local law that were hindering their ability to operate as a farm. If you look at this letter, what you're going to find is Ag and Markets' position that we're not imposing any local law requirements on them at all. The requirements that we've imposed on them are matters of state law. Now, before they sent this letter, you'll notice in the letter itself, they refer to the fact that they consulted with the New York State Department of State before they wrote the letter. So if you review that letter, which is in your packet, you'll see that you don't have jurisdiction to handle their complaint because it's a matter of state law. We then went to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, New York State DEC, and on March 10th, we received a letter from them, which I believe we are now introducing to your
It's
packet.
the second item.
It's the second item, in which New York State Department of Environmental Conservation takes the same position, that this is a matter of state law, and as far as it goes, you can read this in its entirety if you want, but what it's saying essentially is this. This is not about agriculture. This is not about the local zoning law. This is about DEC requirements, which, by the way, this board does not have any jurisdiction to determine whether they're right or wrong, and whether SWIPs are required, things of that nature, which are simply a matter of state law. Now, at this point, so the record is clear, and I'll make the record clear to you as well, we have not taken the position yet that you're required to have a SWIP. Okay? We have not said that. We have said that it appears that you will likely be required to have a SWIP. And the reason why I've taken that position is because they have not provided us with the detail in their papers that are required for us to make that decision. When we get a set of papers with sufficient detail to make those sorts of decisions, we will. Until then, we're in the position of advising them generally that we believe at this point, based upon the numbers they have presented to us, that they would probably be required to have a SWIP. Again, that would not be something this board would decide. As you're well aware, SWIP is part of the speedies permit, which is state law. Actually starts with the EPA, drops down to the state then drops to our lap. The only reason why a SWIP comes through the town of Paris is because we're an MS4 community. If we were not, DEC would handle the SWIP by itself. But because we're an MS4 community, the SWIP must be signed off by us when the applicant submits a speedies permit application to the state of New York. Now, we're not going to debate at this point if it's not relevant to this appeal. We're not going to debate whether it's necessary or not, because frankly, we haven't made a final determination. But having said that, if somebody doesn't like our determination, this board is powerless to do anything about it. You know that. The fact of the matter is, you get letters from the state DEC all the time. They will tell you when you have jurisdiction and when you don't. And they will say to you in letters, as you've seen in the past, they will say, well, that's a matter of floodplain, which is a local law. It's on you. They will also tell you when it's not on you. And clearly this is not. Now, I know they object to the findings of the DEC based upon the last letter we received. Again, not an issue for you. The issue for you is simply to interpret our local zoning law, which I'm perfectly comfortable that you are all capable of doing that with ease. I would point out, however, that our zoning law is not the only thing that applies to any development of land within the town of Paris. It's not just a question of what our zoning law says. That's part of the equation, but there's a whole bunch of state laws